We're back. It's a new week. Excited to be here. It was a busy last few weeks out of the office and a lot of different milestone events and launches, and a lot of those things take away from just normal operating business. So we're back to business and doing all the AI things. We got the Knicks playing game 3 tonight. Knicks in 4. That's the goal. I love the city right now with the orange and the blue, and there's flags, and you see like people wearing Knicks jerseys into the office or wearing them under their suits. I mean, the blue and orange vibes are alive and well. I'm not a Knicks fan, but I'm not a fan. So, I mean, I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade, but I could be a bandwagon fan and jump on this. But I think the cheapest ticket is $10,000, what maybe I read. So I'm going to be watching that from home tonight. Today I logged into the YouTube channel, seeing if I had any comments. Had one. Thanks for leaving a comment. I really started this whole process not in a goal of going viral or getting tons of followers, but really just connecting to others that were having a similar experience, that folks are carrying and deciphering and finding their position, synthesizing information. What I'm thinking is maybe different. Well, I didn't live through I was alive in the late 90s, 2000s, obviously. But I wasn't at the age where I was thinking about it the way that I am now. And what I am observing in this situation is that it's impacting everyone personally as well. Whether that's fear or excitement or confusion, or it's constantly learning or changing. So if you're working in finance especially, I think you're weighing all of these considerations in your day-to-day, in your job, in whatever position that might be. But I think it's also impacting folks on the micro, on their personal level. So they're thinking about, how is this app impacting me? And there's also the unknown and anxiety that comes with that as well. So I do feel that on my own. So I can relate. I have really been thinking through, how do we move through this process, right? Like, you don't want to be naive and just say, it's going to be fine, everything's fine. But really, what's the best way to guide, inspire, lead a team, an organization, a company through something that can be overwhelming just in your day-to-day work, but also in your personal life, and balancing all of those unknowns at the same time. So yeah, at the end of the day, I really want this space to be real, authentic, and it is the human experience. So with that, I'm gonna try to not miss my train. So let's sprint. Hi, happy Wednesday. We are having a quick little walk and picnic here in Central Park, and getting outside, getting some fresh air, and really kind of just connecting back to nature, human, grounding, all of those things, I think fits really well with this week. When I set out to do this week's vlog, I have somewhat of a plan. Also, I still don't like vlog. I've got to find another word for that because it does feel outdated. While I do think that the long form, less edited, more human content, I'm a little more drawn to it lately. I don't know if that's because of the slew of content, how easy it is to make, that I have gravitated more towards something that's a little slower. As I say that, I'm just talking as fast as possible. But I am looking for just something that's less titles in my face, sound, learning, get hyped up. I need something just a little more real. So all that to say, this vlog. I didn't intend for the theme this week to be about the highs and lows, the emotional toll, and the truly just like the full human experience of AI and implementing the technology and just living in a world that's progressing so quickly. But it just aligned with the Anthropic Fable 5 model release, which was yesterday. So we heard about Mythos over the last few weeks. I guess it was maybe more than a month ago. Anthropic announced that they had the new model Mythos. It was so powerful that it could infiltrate vulnerabilities in large organizations, the government, companies. And so they released it to a selected group so that they could flush out, protect themselves, but also kind of maybe, I'm assuming, find kind of where those guardrails and boundaries might be for the public before they release it publicly. So from my understanding, Fable 5 that was just released is that safeguarded version. I have noticed a bit of a difference. Actually, before I left the office, I put in a pretty large prompt in a project and walked away. So TBD, I don't know. Hopefully it's great. I have noticed that the output has been a little more aligned with what I'm looking for, and it's working a little faster as well. So far, so good. But yeah, I set out to document this journey, really to share an experience, to provide a space for others to relate, because I have found that there's a lot of tutorials, there's a lot of noise out there, and there's not a lot of just real human content that's sharing this experience. So that was the goal here. With that means that I myself am a little more vulnerable, right, on camera, because if I'm going to show the true human experience, I can't just sit here and be like, hey, look at this great little project that I built for you. That's not truly that's not truly the human experience, right? We're having great revelations and developing efficiencies. It's getting rid of a lot of work. I mean, there are days that I can almost get to the bottom of my to-do list and I can almost get through my emails, and that never would have happened without this technology. So there's so much upside. But as I was chatting about earlier in the week, there is a lot of instability, uncertainty, and some disruption, and that is real. Then there's these model releases, and there's some fear-mongering. There's a lot of, you need to learn this, and that creates a lot of pressure. Like, am I behind? So something that I'm working on this week, and I cannot wait to share it with you later this week. I'm not a fan when people are like, I have something to tell you, but I can't tell you yet. But I have something to tell you, and I can't tell you yet, because I don't have it completely polished, but just something that I am using when I get in that space of feeling behind or overwhelmed or whatever it might be, just kind of something to go back to. So I'll share that later this week. Also, going on a vacation, kind of a last minute vacation, and we are leaving on Friday. So I'm pretty sure we're closing up this week's vlog from the airport. So I'll fill you in on that. Maybe take you on the trip as well and share some info. Yeah, so if you're here, thank you for being here. I'm also curious, how did you get here? How did you find this channel? Because the more I learn about launching a YouTube channel, I am not following the playbook. But there's two reasons that come to mind why I'm not doing that. One is I'm gravitating towards content that is slower, more real. I can just put it on in the background. It's not a tutorial. I don't have to be an active listener. And there's a place for that. I love that too. But I am craving less of the 30-second overstimulating content. So for one, it's what I'm gravitating towards. So that's what I wanted this platform to be. And two, what was two? I already forgot what two was. I don't know. See, we're humans. We forget. Okay, so I'm going to head back to the office, and hopefully this Fable 5 has crushed my project and I'll have very few iterations. So, yeah. All right, we are headed to the train. The Knicks are playing in game 4, maybe 5, I don't know, tonight. So there's Knicks fans and jerseys everywhere. But I got in here to show you this. It's an Arnold Palmer. It's the perfect commuting home. No alcohol. Very little caffeine. Woo. All right, so we're hopping on the train, but I wanted to share that I've been using Fable 5 today, and it is noticeably better. And the project that I was working on today, oh wow, look at all these Knicks people today. I have no Knicks here, but I feel like it's too late in the series and the, what do you call this tournament? It's too late at this point. And Oklahoma City Thunder is kind of my team, and they made it so far. I feel kind of like a sellout by buying Knicks gear now, but go Knicks. So I wanted to hop on here really quick because I was editing the video this morning from yesterday and realized what my number 2 was. So there are 2 reasons that I am opting for a more unedited, raw, casual, whatever you want to call it, long form content to document the experience of adopting AI, learning, all the things. 1 was because I myself have been gravitating more towards that content. 2, I remember 2. 2 is the time. I do not have time to write a script and plan an extensive video and edit and create what would be, in my mind, this perfect dream 10, 20, up to 40-minute video documenting my experience. I don't have time for that. I don't, not without taking, you know what, take that back. We have time for everything if we want to make the time for it. I did not want to take the time, more time out of weekends or my own personal decompression time to create another project, but I wanted to record it. And this still does require a lot of time, but not to the extent that in my mind, what perfection would look like, and accomplishing that, I can't do that. So what I can do is this, and do the best that I can. So I wanted to just drop this as a reminder. If there's something that you want to do and maybe you can't do it 100%, like doing it is better than not doing it at all. And so if you need a little encouragement to get started on whatever it might be, this is it. Go do the thing. We are not in New York anymore. We, my friends, I love that I'm using like a succulent, like a beautiful succulent plant to prop up the camera right now. So great. We are in Malibu, California. This is my first time to visit Malibu. We're staying at this super cute little hotel, like boutique, boho, very aesthetic, very Instagrammable hotel called the Surf Rider, and so cute. I had a grand plan. This was not the plan. The plan was to like B-roll, record from the airport. Like I had a plan. It didn't happen, you know? And I'm learning to just roll with it. And if this is going to be truly a real, authentic conversation that we're having, you're getting the real deal, which is yesterday was a total shit show. But we got here, and we're here, and it's lovely. And got up this morning, super early, the time change, so 5 a.m. wake-up call, watching surfers, went on a run, like, I never stopped my running watch. Great, it's gonna be like, it took you 2 hours to run 3 miles. I don't know what time it is, but it's lovely, and I can already feel my nervous system, heart rate, everything just kind of relax. I could do the beach. This is great. I don't know. It could be just that first day, you know, like by day 2 or 3, you're like, I'm ready to get home. So yeah, we're just a few hours. We're just like less than 12 hours in. So catch me in a few days. So this week I really had a plan to share. Again, I'm giving you like, hey, this was my plan, but this is actually what's happening. Again, because this is so transparent. Like I just want to just have a conversation every week. I want to share what's going on with AI, what's going on with my, workflows, what's going on in finance, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. I want to provide that value too, but at the same time, like we're just keeping it real. So yeah, I have had this feeling of overwhelm, right? Like you read, AI is not going to take your job. Somebody who knows AI is going to take your job. And there's just so much to learn, and you're still trying to stay, at homeostasis with everything in your life, but you're also bringing in all of this new technology, new ideas. You're just absorbing so much information that it can be a lot. It's really exciting. And there are some days that I'm like, this is incredible. This is saving me so much time. And then there are days that I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. And I think I can't be the only one that's having this feeling. And there's something, I'm like, I need to have a plan. Like when I start to get in this space or in this place, how do I kind of calm it down? What can I go back to? You know, maybe it's some just really basic first principles. Maybe it's a non-negotiables. Maybe there's just some, I hate the word self-care, but like maybe there's just some self-care things that we can do. And everybody has their own, everybody's different, but maybe there's just some basics that we can go back to. And that's really what I have been thinking about a lot this week is just, we have so much time, we only have so much attention. And this new technology and this new agentic era that we're living in is gobbling up some of that time and attention, and it does create some overwhelm. And there are a lot of, hey, here's how to build this email or this like app, or here's how you can use this new tool, or here's how, you know, this. And I want to share that as well, and any tips or tricks or however I'm using it. But I also want to share that like, this is hard. Like this is a unique time, and a lot of us are living through this in a different lens. Everyone has their own story and how it's impacting their lives in some form or fashion. And maybe it hasn't impacted us yet, but I think that there's like this like bubbling up fear that many of us are having of like, how is it going to impact, you know, throughout my day to day? It's like, how is it going to impact this? How is it going to impact this, right? Different industries and different roles, and how is that going to impact my life? How am I going to use my phone differently? Like, am I going to pick up my phone and just start talking to it? Maybe I don't have a phone. Maybe my eyewear or some other hardware device, I just start talking to it. I need a car to pick me up, and we want to get food from this place, and there's no longer apps and everything's working together. So I feel like throughout my day, I'm thinking, how could this get impacted? I was listening to a podcast on my run this morning called More or Less, and Dave was talking about how we like have these like micro attention, like, is that micro attention? Yeah, micro attention. And it was a really good point of, you know, they had the conversation of instead of 60 minutes, like we need 60 seconds. And I think that's true, but I think I might push back a little bit and say that I think that we might move towards longer form, more human versus more and more automated, quick 30-second. I think that is just creating some exhaustion. It is me personally, at least. When new technology, new ideas come to light, we want to learn everything. I want to get my hands on everything. I want to stay curious, and I want to learn as much as I can. And I've kind of gone through that stage to where now it's like, I'm just overwhelmed. I have too many tools. I have too much information. I'm subscribing to too many different ideas, and it's starting to cause overwhelm. And there's likely some medical scientific data here that I don't have because I am not a medical professional. But just from my own experience, I have hit the point where I think it's time to curate. And so curating down some tools, curating my time to just one or two different tasks that we're focusing on, optimizing. We don't have to optimize everything, is really important as well. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that this week. I'm really excited to just kind of get away from the office for a few days, because I do think that clarity and creativity, new ideas and fresh perspectives, you have to get away. Like, you have to have this time to get away, as hard as difficult as it is, because you think, well, I've got to, you know, I can't have any meetings, I've got to shut down my calendar, I need to stay off Slack and Teams, and I mean, anything that pops up I'll handle. But for the most part, I need to disengage from the day-to-day as much as possible to just get the clarity to be so much better when I return. And I know that we hear that over and over, but when it comes down to it, and you're like about to submit the PTO and book the flight, like, you're thinking, can I leave? Like, there's so much that I need to be present for. So this is like 12 hours into the downtime. So I am really curious to see what the next week vlog looks like, because I'll probably be like super zen and have some much better ideas and thoughts. That's the goal. So I hope you all have had a wonderful week, thank you for being here if you are here. And I want to hear about your experience because, again, these are not conversations I'm just having with people on the street like, hey, how are you using AI? Also, is it like really overwhelming you? Like, how are you feeling? How are you really feeling? So yeah, how are you feeling? How are you really feeling? You know, we got this. We got this. If anything, put Claude on your to-do list and just walk away, and that's nice. All right, I'm gonna go grab a coffee or matcha or something and maybe take a walk on the beach. And I have a feeling next week, I mean, what if I just don't come back? What if I just like become a nomad, a surfer? I'm just kidding. I'll be back. I'll see you guys. Stay curious and also stay well.